Hi everybody, I want to talk to you today about simplifying algebraic expressions, and we're going to start with addition. If we have two expressions which are fractions, and I'm using the letters A and B and C and D, in order to simplify it, we multiply A times D and add it to C times B. So we've got the cross shape here. And then you divide your answer by the two bottom numbers multiplied, so that's B times D. So in terms of a pattern, it's A times D, so we multiply in that direction, plus, and then C times B, so we multiply in that direction, and then divided by, we multiply across the bottom. So to look at an example of this, if I were asked to simplify something like 5 over x plus 2 over x plus 1, so I'm going to get that times that firstly, which is 5 times x plus 1, and then it's going to be plus that times that, which is 2 times x, so we write that as 2x, and I'm going to divide that by these two multiplied, so it's going to be x times x plus 1. So simplifying across the top, I get 5x plus 5 plus my 2x, and I've simply multiplied out the bracket there. So that times that gives me 5x plus that times that gives me 5. And I divide this by x times x plus 1. Now, in order to simplify across the top of the expression, because I'm adding, I can only bring together terms that are the same. So I can bring together my x terms. So I get 7x when I add them, plus the 5 divided by x times x plus 1. And that would be my final answer. Okay, if we look at a slightly more complicated addition, if we had something like x over x plus 2, and if I added that to 3 over x minus 1. Now again, if I apply the same technique, I get this times this. So that gives me x times x minus 1. Plus, I now have to multiply this times this. So that gives me 3 times x plus 2. And I divide by my two bottom terms multiplied, so I get x plus 2 times by x minus 1. So if I multiply across the top firstly, so I'm multiplying out the bracket, so I'll get x times x minus x times 1, so that gives me x squared minus x, and when I multiply out the second bracket, I get 3 times x plus 3 times 2, so that gives me plus 3x plus 6, and I divide that by x plus 2 times x minus 1. Now I simplify on the top of the fraction, and again, because I'm adding and subtracting, as we can see, I can only bring together things that are the same. The x squared's on its own, the number's on its own, so I can only bring together the x terms, and if I have minus x plus 3x is exactly the same as 3x minus x, which is 2x, so I'll end up with x squared plus 2x plus 6 divided by x plus 2 times by x minus 1.